the street for the miracle. True blue spectacle.
On a cold October night in 2025, the stage lights dimmed and the crowd fell silent. For the first time in years, the Nolans walked out together, not to celebrate fame, but to mourn one of their own. Linda Nolan, the vibrant voice of the group, had passed earlier that year after a long public battle with cancer. But this tribute wasn't just another performance. It was a night of raw pain, unspoken secrets, and a final farewell that shook fans to their core. For decades, Linda had been the heart of the Nolans' harmonies, the sister whose smile carried warmth even in the darkest moments. Yet behind that smile lay years of suffering, resilience, and courage that few outside her family truly understood. On this night, as her sisters took the stage to sing in her honor, tears flowed freely, on stage and off. What unfolded was not just a tribute, but a revelation about love, loss, and the enduring power of family. The truth behind this heartbreaking night is deeper than anyone realized, and the legacy of Linda Nolan still lingers in ways that will leave you speechless. But the truth behind it is much darker.
Long before the spotlight, before the screaming fans and glittering stages, Linda Nolan's story began in Dublin, Ireland, where she was born on 23 February 1959. The Nolans weren't a family destined for fame at first glance. They were a working-class household, filled with laughter, hardship, and above all, music. Linda and her sisters, Bernie, Colleen, Maureen, Anne, and Denise, grew up in a home where songs echoed through every corner. Their parents, Tommy and Maureen, recognized early on that music wasn't just entertainment for their children, it was their way out, their voice to the world. By the mid-1970s, the Nolan sisters began to take shape. With sparkling harmonies and natural charisma, they quickly captured attention. Linda, with her radiant presence and heartfelt voice, stood out as one of the group's most recognizable faces. Their big break came when they moved to Blackpool, England, where the family's passion transformed into professional opportunity. Talent scouts soon discovered what the sisters had always known. The Nolans were destined to sing for the world. Linda was still a teenager, but her resilience and charm carried her through the challenges of balancing family, fame, and personal dreams. What began as childhood songs in the family living room soon became chart-topping performances that defined a generation.
The late 1970s and early 1980s marked the golden era for the Nolans, and for Linda, it was the moment when her voice and presence touched millions. Their breakout came with the infectious hit "I'm in the Mood for Dancing" in 1979. The song skyrocketed up the charts, not just in the UK, but also in Japan, where the Nolans became an overnight phenomenon. Linda, with her trademark blonde hair and radiant smile, became the poster image of the group. The sisters weren't just singers, they were entertainers. With perfectly synchronized dance routines, dazzling costumes, and harmonies that felt like pure sunshine, the Nolans embodied the joy of pop music at its peak. Linda's role in the band was more than just performance. She connected emotionally with audiences. Her warmth and authenticity drew fans in, especially during live television appearances on shows like Top of the Pops. By the early 1980s, the Nolans were touring globally, from Europe to Asia, selling millions of records and performing in front of packed arenas. In Japan alone, they achieved a rare level of superstardom, rivaling even local idols. Through it all, Linda balanced the pressure of fame with her natural Irish charm, becoming not just a singer, but also a beloved public personality. It was a meteoric rise, one that few girl groups of that era could match. But behind the glitter and applause, life was about to test Linda in ways far beyond the stage.
Behind the spotlight, Linda Nolan's journey was marked by unimaginable struggles. Fame brought her applause, but life tested her with pain far deeper than any stage performance. In the 2000s, Linda faced the devastating diagnosis of breast cancer. It was a cruel echo of what her sisters Anne and Bernie had also endured. Linda fought bravely, going through treatments, surgeries, and endless hospital visits. Yet, she never let illness define her spirit. But tragedy didn't stop there. Linda lost her beloved husband, Brian Hudson, in 2007 after a long battle with cancer. Their marriage had been her anchor, and his passing left a wound that never truly healed. She often spoke about him with tenderness, her voice breaking, but her heart still full of love. Then came another devastating blow. Her sister Bernie Nolan, the powerhouse voice of the group, passed away in 2013 after her own fight with cancer. For Linda, it was like losing a piece of herself. Despite these heartbreaks, Linda chose courage. She continued to appear in the public eye, raising awareness about cancer, speaking honestly about grief, and reminding fans that strength isn't about avoiding pain, it's about carrying on in spite of it. Her openness, her vulnerability, and her refusal to give up made her not only a star of the stage, but a star of resilience. Fans admired not just the singer, but the woman who had endured so much and still stood tall.
In 2025, the world witnessed one of the most emotional tributes in music history. The Nolans, once the joyful sisters who lit up the stage with "I'm in the Mood for Dancing," returned not for fame, but for love, to honor Linda. The tribute night was filled with tears, laughter, and memories. Her sisters Colleen, Denise, Maureen, and Anne stood side by side, their voices trembling yet powerful, as they sang the very songs that had once made them stars. But this time, every lyric carried a different weight. It wasn't just music, it was a farewell. Fans from across the UK and Ireland gathered, holding candles, posters, and photos of Linda. Many wept openly, whispering her name, as if she could still hear them. The moment became larger than just a family grieving. It was the collective heart of a generation breaking in unison. On stage, Colleen Nolan's voice cracked as she said, "Linda was more than our sister. She was our heart. Tonight, we sing not for ourselves, but for her, and for all of you who loved her." The audience erupted into applause, but also sobs. It was a night of music, of mourning, and of memory, where the stage became a shrine, and every note was a prayer. For many, it felt like Linda was there, smiling, her spirit woven into every harmony, reminding them that love doesn't end, it echoes forever.
Even after her passing, Linda Nolan's presence continues to shape the story of the Nolans and the millions who loved them. For decades, Linda wasn't just a singer, she was a fighter. Her long and very public battle with cancer inspired countless fans who saw in her not weakness, but courage. She showed the world that even in pain, dignity and laughter could survive. In the months following her tribute, social media flooded with messages of love. Fans shared old vinyl records, concert posters, and personal stories of how Linda's music touched their lives. Younger generations, who had never seen the Nolans perform live, discovered her through streaming platforms, keeping her voice alive for years to come. The Nolans as a group also felt her absence deeply. For Colleen, Maureen, Denise, and Anne, Linda's memory became a reason to keep going, to honor her by singing, by sharing, by reminding the world
that sisterhood was their greatest song. In Blackpool, their hometown, fans gathered to lay flowers outside the theater where the Nolans first performed. Talk began of a permanent memorial, a plaque, or perhaps even a foundation in Linda's name supporting cancer research and patient care. To many, Linda Nolan's true legacy was not only her music, but her resilience. She turned her personal struggles into a story of hope, one that continues to inspire those facing their own battles. And so, while her voice may have gone silent, her song lives on. In every stage the Nolans step upon, in every memory fans hold, and in every moment where love proves stronger than loss.